Marco, chocolate, chocolate, chocolate.
Indeed. What would the world be without it?
It's one of the great luxuries of the world.
Exactly.
It releases endorphins.
It does.
It does a lot of good things for you.
That tastes good too.
Hey guys,
Hey,
can I help
Rose.
you?
How are you, Rose?
I'm good, how are you?
We're doing a chocolate mud cake today,
Cool.
and we're doing a trio of ganaches. What would you suggest?
In terms of milk, white and dark, I
Yeah.
would go this lovely bittersweet chocolate, which is a 55%.
Yep.
Milk chocolate at a 33, and then we have a lovely white. These are all in the Caliber range. They're delicious.
How's that sound?
Calaber's from Belgium, is that right?
Yes, it is.
Gorgeous. So what we'll probably do is maybe we'll use the dark chocolate to make into our mud cake.
Yep.
And then we'll use the lighter flavoured chocolates to make our ganaches. And we'll do a little bit of dark chocolate ganache as well.
Yeah, cool.
Gorgeous.
Sound good to you, Rose?
Yeah, sounds lovely.
Rose, can we take those?
Absolutely.
Thanks very
guys.
much. Do today is we've got some dark chocolate, some milk chocolate, and also some white chocolate.
Now tell me a little bit about the difference between the dark and the light chocolate.
White chocolate actually isn't chocolate, it's actually confectionery.
Yeah, right.
So that's something that some people generally get mixed up.
Yep.
The dark chocolate is a lot more bitter than the milk chocolate. So what we're going to do first is we've got 250 grams of butter, chop that quickly. And what we're going to do is melt this down with some chocolate delicately. So the base of this one today is dark chocolate.
Cool.
So we're going to put in 200 grams of dark chocolate and we're just going to slowly melt that in and mix it in together. While we're getting that ready to go, what we're going to do is we're going to sift our flours. So we have self-raising flour and plain flour here.
Yep.
And we've also got some cocoa. By sifting the flour, it helps to get any impurities, any lumps out of the flour.
Yeah, exactly.
And it also too, it helps to aerate it and make it combine nicer. So we can do this straight onto the bench, onto a little bit of greaseproof paper. So what we're going to do is just knock that through. We'll just mix that up a little bit, just so we make sure they're nice and combined.
Yeah, cool.
So we'll have that nice and mixed in, Marco. It's all nice and combined. That's nearly all melted in there now. So we're going to add in some hot water now. We're going to add in the sugar. So what we want to do is we want to put that back onto the heat and just gradually heat it, just so we can get the sugar granules to dissolve.
Sugar? Yep, cool.
And while we're waiting for that to dissolve in, what we're going to start preparing is what's known as a bain-marie or a water bath.
Yeah, cool.
So what we're going to do is we're going to fill this tray with a little bit of water.
Yep.
And we're going to put in our dariole moulds.
Yep.
And then we're going to fill up a little bit of water up to the side of the dariole moulds.
Yeah, cool.
And what that does is it just helps to take away the intensity of the oven, and it helps them cook them through slowly.
So it's basically a sous vide bath for chocolate cake.
Yeah. This is another technique we also use with creme brulees and different things that we want to cook gently. With the dariole moulds, we've just lightly greased them with butter, just to stop them from sticking.
Yeah, cool.
You only need butter, you don't need to use butter and flour in this one. All our sugar's dissolved in there now. You can tell just by stirring it, you can feel there isn't the granulation on the bottom of the pan.
Yeah, cool.
So what we're going to do is we're going to take that off the heat. Did you want to slowly start combining that in while I stir it in? So we'll just get that nice and combined so we don't get any lumps in it. So Marco, as we're mixing that in, you can see that it's starting to turn into a batter consistency.
Yeah.
Marco, we're also going to add in some eggs as well. So we're just going to beat these lightly before we put it into the mixture.
Beautiful South Australian eggs.
Yep, these are from the Fleurieu Peninsula. So we put the eggs beaten first. We're going to put them into our mix. Combine them in. So we're going to pour the mixture into a jug so that we can pour it into our dariole moulds.
Yep.
It just helps to get it in a little bit nicer.
Cool.
Because you don't want cake mix getting up the side of your tins.
Yeah.
Because it inhibits the rise and it also doesn't look very good for presentation. So we're going to pour our mix in. All right, Marco, so we're just going to leave one of the dariole moulds out.
Cool.
Actually, we'll leave out 2 of the dariole moulds. And this is hot water. So what we're going to do is just pour this into the mould of our dish.
Yeah, cool.
By starting off with hot water, Marco, it's going to make everything cook that little bit faster. When you start off with cold water, sometimes that affects the actual time that something needs to be in the oven.
Yeah, sure.
All right, so we'll pop that in the oven. All right, Marco, so while our mud cakes are in the oven cooking away, what we're going to get ready is the sauces.
Cool.
So with the sauces today, we're going to make us what's known as a ganache.
Yep.
And what it is cream and chocolate.
Nice.
So we're going to boil the cream, and then we're going to pour it over the chocolate and mix it in. It will make a nice pouring consistency for the sauce. Man. Today we're going to use the High Mush Valley pure cream. So we're going to put the cream into a pot. And we're just going to bring that up to heat. So we have the cream up to temperature now.
Yep.
So it's just bubbling. So it means it's come up to heat.
Beautiful.
And what we're going to do is we're just going to pour it over the top of the chocolate.
That's going to taste so good.
The chocolate will melt into the cream. So that's the dark chocolate in there, nice and melted. Okay, so we're going to pour our 3 ganaches. We're going to pour them into these little jugs. So we're going to bring over one of the mud cakes.
Cool. It popped up quite nicely.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Okay, so we've turned out our chocolate mud cake.
Beautiful.
A couple of strawberries.
Yep.
So I think we should taste, but I think there's one more thing I want to do. I'm going to put a little bit of the dark chocolate sauce on.
Nice.
I'm going to put a little bit of the white chocolate sauce on.
That looks amazing. Look.
I'm going to put some of the milk chocolate sauce on.
That is beautiful. That is beautiful. That is fantastic, Mick.
So there we go, Marco. Mud cake, the 3 different chocolate pouring sauces, all gorgeous.
Spectacular, man.
Nice and rich.
Nice job.
It's always good fun, Marco.
Always a pleasure.
Thanks, buddy.